and welcome to Spoilers at the Movies. I'm Andrew, and filling in for Jamie is our other brother, Campbell.
What's up, guys?
Yes, he's filling in for Jamie because he was accidentally destroyed maliciously. Yes. Today we're going to see Despicable Me 2. Is that right, Campbell?
Yes, that is right. Now, I personally very much enjoyed the first Despicable Me. I thought it had the right balance of, adult humour and child-friendly humour. It was colourful, it was fun, and I'm really interested to see what they do with the sequel.
Oh yes, that's pretty much my opinion too. It was good because it was about this villain named Gru, and in a plot to try and steal the moon, he adopts these 3 little girls, but as it gets closer to the optimal time to steal the moon, he grows attached to the little girls.
Yes, and then he has to part with them, and he realises that it was a huge mistake, and that he has come to care for these girls a great deal. So now that they've cemented that relationship amongst characters, where are they going to go from here?
Yes, and from the trailer, which I'll put up in a moment, it looks like Gru has retired from villainy, and now he's being recruited into an anti-villain society, or organisation or something, that will allow him, and so since he knows how a villain thinks, he will help the anti-villain league, that's it, to help combat this new villain that has surfaced.
Yeah, so he's done a complete 180 flip from what he used to be. He's gone from a super villain to, a super spy, I suppose. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to seeing how they treat that. Whether this sequel will be a sort of a darker approach to the first one, I can't imagine it being that way because it's such a colourful franchise. But, normally sequels go down that road, but it'll be interesting to see.
Yes, and by the looks of it, they still have the Minions.
Well, the Minions are the highlight of the entire show, so
yes.
If they got rid of those, I'd be pretty disappointed.
Yes, I don't think if they got rid of the Minions, because, they're the trailers.
They're far too adorable.
Yes, but the first one was just the Minions.
Yeah, exactly, Little boy!
Na 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 na. Yeah, so with that, we better get inside, because it's almost time. We better get the tickets and
go. Movies,
yes. So we'll see you in a moment.
Cheerio.
Good night, Edith. Good night, Margot. Whoa, hold the horses. Who are you texting?
My friend Avery.
Avery. Avery. Is it a girl's name or a boy's name?
Does it matter?
No, it doesn't matter unless it's a boy.
I know what makes you a boy.
Who you do?
Your bald head.
Oh, yes.
Sometimes I stare at it and imagine a little chick popping out. Beep, beep, beep.
Good night, Agnes. Never get older.
Mr. Gru, Agent Lucy Wilde of the Anti-Villain League. You're gonna have to come with me.
Oh, sorry,
You really should announce your weapons after you fire them. For example, lipstick taser! Get in there!
Anti-Villain League, dedicated to fighting crime on a global scale. A new villain has surfaced. You know how a villain thinks. That's why we've brought you here.
Pins and needles.
I am the League's director, Silas Ramsbottom.
Bottom.
Hilarious.
Are you really gonna save the world?
That's right, baby. Gru's back in the game with cool cars, gadgets,
How was it working?
and weapons.
And we're back. So we saw the movie. What do you think?
Yeah, no, I liked it. I was expecting it to take a sort of a darker turn, and I was right in my prediction. The plot was a little bit heavier than the first film, a little bit of kidnap and deception in there, but I don't think they went overboard with the dark element. It's still bright and colourful, very funny, and no, overall I really enjoyed it. I thought it was good.
Yeah, it was a very satisfying follow-up.
Yeah, well, I thought so. You know, they really focused on the character development. They didn't need to rehash what they did in the first film. You know, we've already established Gru's relationship with the young girls, and then bringing in the Lucy character. You know, and then it was all about his relationship as a father now, rather than his problems with his children. It became the problems of a father with children, or a single parent with children, which I thought was a real natural step for the story to take.
Yeah, and they did a rather interesting thing with the minions, like.
Yes, well, that's it. That's the dark turn that that I was talking about. You know, the minions, they're sort of a central character, but in the first film they were more there for gags. But in this one, they sort of drove the plot with the evil nature of the blah, 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 blah.
Oh yes. Like that. It's not like some bad guys created evil knockoffs. It's like all the adorable little minions. They got kidnapped and mutated into these monstrosities.
Yeah, it was a bit of a shock actually. There was a very sinister element going through when they were getting kidnapped and didn't know who was taking them or what was happening, and then the abrupt reveal that they turned into these horrible little monsters, and I began to fear for them. I thought maybe that was going to be the end for them, but fortunately, as often in children's films, the end was a happy one.
Yep.
But are we allowed to give away stuff on spoilers? I suppose we are.
Yes, it's spoilers in the titles. Like I knew Dr. Nefario wasn't gone.
No, well, that's it. Dr. Nefario leaves in the opening section of the film in the first act, and you go, well, he's got to be back. You know, they wouldn't just throw him away like that. Oh, well, we no longer have Russell Brand as a voice actor, so we're cutting him out of the film. No, nothing like that. It was just a plot point.
Yeah, they should have. If they didn't have the voice actor, they would have just not mentioned him, like how Gru's mother or Miss Hattie or Vector.
Exactly right. Yes, but no. It was kind of, once he disappeared and then there was this shadowy figure in the background, we sort of, if you're clued on, you're fairly sure that that's who it was straight away and who was pulling the strings. But I like that they set up a different villain. Like, initially they were like, oh, he's, what was his name, El Grando or something?
El Macho.
El Macho. And they set him up as the villain, and it's like, oh, it's a red herring. It wasn't really him, it was the little Chinese man. But then it turns out it was El Macho the whole time, and he was the one responsible for the little evil minions. Which I thought was really good, you know, that was... Yeah.
Very...
So, what do you reckon, out of 5, what would you give Despicable Me 2?
Let's see, I'm not sure what I gave Despicable Me 1, but I definitely rated it high because it was very funny and very creative. With this one, well, I don't really want to give it 4 because I think I gave Fast 4. I'll give it 4.5. It was a very satisfying sequel. What do you think, Campbell?
Well, I really preferred the first one. You know, I thought they did a lot with the first one that they couldn't quite repeat with the second one, and I was a little bit disappointed that it didn't have more of the minions in there, you know, using them as a key plot point rather than just the little gags. I feel like underused the comedic element of the minion weapons. I loved in the first one how Dave shot his RPG into all the little guys and they flew everywhere. You know, we didn't have that in this. We had the big climactic fight between the purples and the yellows at the end, but again, underused. They didn't really go at it.
Yeah.
You know, it was more that they came up with a cure for the virus, and turned them back to yellow again. You know, that I reckon they underused the potential of the film, so I'm going to give it 3.5 out of 5.
Yeah, I agree with you there, because like when the one like attacks the girls back at Gru's house, there's a few of the good ones still there, and I thought maybe they would have like
rallied to the girls' aid, you know, and stopped the guy. But
instead we had Dr. Nefario arrive and save the day.
It seemed like that plot point of the antidote came a bit too early. You know, like they could have had, you know, more tension and a bigger fight. But I suppose it's only a G or PG rated film.
And they focused a bit with Gru and Lucy. So.
Yeah, but see, you can have comedic violence that I thought it was underused, you know, and the minions are established in the first film as weapon savvy, little terrors in their own right, in a nice way, but, you know, putting them up against legitimately dangerous guys like this who could eat the whole world if they wanted to, you know, there was potential there, and I think they underused it.
Yeah, well, I think there is actually that. The bit at the end during the credits with the Minions movie auditions, I think there is actually going to be a movie focusing on the Minions, so that they might be saving like all the comedic violence and stuff for that.
Well, it would be good. I'm hoping that's what they do. I'm really hoping that they push the Minions forward as, you know, a real comedic driver for the series, whether or not there's a Despicable Me 3 or the spin-off with the Minions movie. That's what I really want to see, because for me, I love Gru and I love the girls. You know, they're really sweet, but for me, it's all about the minions. It's all about the violence and the hilariousness of their antics, where they just hit each other for no reason or shoot guns at one another, and you know, they're just really funny characters.
Out of us three brothers, this is the one with a girlfriend, but really, he's just a 10-year-old boy at heart. He just loves his mindless violence.
Yeah, well, that's the thing, you know, mindless violence. To enjoy life, you need to have a child's heart. But, you know, as you get older, you know, things become more interesting if they're violent. So it's okay to enjoy violent.
I reckon might retract my score. I'll go with my first 4, give it 4, so Campbell's final score?
3.5. 3.5.
Okay, 5, so 4 for me, 3.5 for Campbell, and until next time.
Blah, 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 blah.